Right then, this is a video for a quite exceptional Honda CR-V. This particular car has been absolutely packed with options, is in fantastic condition, has wonderful ownership and extraordinary service history, so it ticks every single box. In the best colour of all, black, with the dynamic exterior pack with the front and rear bumper extensions, high level rear spoiler, side steps, 19-inch alloys, optional gear knob on the car, done, I think it's just turned 70,000 miles now, and with a wonderful Honda service history attached to the car as well, up until the service we've just done. The car is in exceptional condition. It is not going to be the cheapest CR-V out there, and nor are we attempting for it to be, but given its ownership and spec, it merits every single penny. Front of the car with the lower front bumper looks fantastic, lights and lenses clear, intact, no cracks or condensation on them. Bumper's very clean, likewise bonnet, can't see a stone chip of any note on there. Near side of the vehicle, passenger side, again absolutely mirror smooth in the panels. Near side front alloy, really good condition. Panel work looks absolutely superb. And it's been washed off but not polished, and it's kind of a natural gleam about the paintwork, which comes from years of fussy ownership. My favourite angle for all these dynamic packed cars from the rear, something that have real substance to them, really nicely done, not overdone. And around the back again, all very, very clean indeed. Around to the off side of the vehicle, driver's side, again absolutely smooth in the panel work. Offside rear alloy in beautiful condition as well. Remaining panel work absolutely stunning. And final alloy, all the alloys look absolutely lovely on the car. I mean, it really is in quite exceptional condition. It's coming to the boot of the car. Massive boots on the CR-Vs, and normally very heavily used, but this one has been treated so gently. Also rare to see the full complement of tonneau cover, middle shelf, all there and all lovely. By the way, these middle shelves, that hinges up if you want it to. It also, if you don't want it there, because I never found a great use for them, turn them upside down and they slot into these little channels just here. It's coming to the back of the car now. Loads of rear leg room, and leather work is in absolutely stunning condition. Again, the CR-V is normally really heavily used in the back where the kids sit, and loads of sort of plastic marks, but unbelievable this one. So into the passenger side front, again all really clean. The seat really looks as though it's hardly ever been sat on. Coming to the front, driver's door card, again really clean, just the odd really light mark on plastic over the years, but I mean, I'm talking minuscule, and I've been really fussy. Footwell area is lovely and clean, and the driver's seat, the one that should show loads of wear, shows virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks pretty much as new, in simply stunning condition again. Sat nav, as you can see, working absolutely perfectly. I'll put the car into reverse. Got a lovely clear gridded parking camera, or parking camera, sorry, it's gridded on the later ones. Used to saying it. And you've got the optional gear knob on the car from the Honda parts bin. It really is a wonderful car. And then come to the main binnacle, 70,143 miles, and there are no warning lights at all whilst the engine's running. But the video doesn't really do justice to this car. This is quite exceptional. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre EX manual. This particular car is registered LG59VZL. Mileage is 70,143. Pardon me. The reason for doing our videos, and especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone is looking online at any of our cars, they actually get to see the very car advertised in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is because we know to our cost, unfortunately, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in photographs and in description, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental issue that shows up as soon as you drive the car. So that's why we do the road test section in particular. We also do it on these lovely quiet country roads very close to our premises. This is actually where we take our customers on test drive, so hopefully it'll then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as you'll know from the walk around video, this is an exceptional car. It really is in every way, so I'm not going to sort of labour the point. And it comes as no surprise, the car starts instantly and settles to an absolutely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle, by the way, and it's been running for some time now. The engines are an absolute peach. As I say in pretty much every video for Honda, I mean, they're the world's best builder of full-cylinder engines, bar none. And it's not just in terms of the obvious stuff which Honda always give you, which is pretty much built-in reliability and longevity, because they are incredibly reliable and long-lasting. They're cam chain driven, there's no cam belts on them, which is a real positive. But it's also the way they drive, because it's just such a wonderful piece of engineering. It's so sweet-natured, it's so tractable, it pulls any rev, never gets flustered or gets fluffy or coughs or splutters or anything like that. And it pulls through the entirety of the available rev range, and as I said, with a feeling that, you know, especially the lack of vibration that comes back into the car, that, you know, it's more like an inline 6 than an inline 4, certainly in terms of the balance of the engine. The engine then feeds through into the gearbox and clutch of the car. Clutch of the car, absolutely perfect, bike point exactly where it's meant to be, and nice and smooth and silent in operation. Gearbox in the vehicle, absolutely fantastic. 6-speed manual gearbox. Gear selection quality is absolutely superb. All too often, unfortunately, you find that some manufacturers, because basically most cars that are transverse engined at the front, the gear levers here are actually joined to the gearbox by cables, which is fine. It's, you know, there's a very good reason for it, but it also means that some gearboxes can feel very kind of vague, lifeless, artificial. This feels absolutely superb. Sorry, it's quite early in the morning, it's going to be quite glary for a second until we turn around again. It's just it feels like the gear lever's going into the gearbox underneath, and it isn't, as I said, but it just has that lovely precision, the weighting. Honda put a lot of effort into making that feel good, and they've done a wonderful job of it. And it feels great with this optional gear lever, by the way, because your hand just naturally falls and wraps around it. It's really nicely done, and that feels absolutely as new to use, by the way. Steering of the car, really nicely weighted, tracks absolutely dead straight, and there's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But it's a lovely generation car, because it's got it just feels so nicely weighted. The car feels really solid and secure on the road, and it drives incredibly car-like. There's none of this kind of SUV style kind of ponderous nature to the steering. It's reasonably quick. It, as I said, it's got a way of just making the car feel really planted on the road, and it works beautifully with suspension, because clearly the suspension does all the work. It gives you this wonderfully damped ride, very, very comfortable indeed, over pretty much every surface. Only kind of the sharpest ridges will catch it out, as it would do any car, but it rides a lot better than most of this type of vehicle. But what it doesn't do, which is a relief, is to give you kind of this, again, sort of truck-like handling, which, again, so many manufacturers, especially at this time, tended to give cars. This feels like it is, because it's based on the Accord platform. You know, just very sure-footed. You go through the corners. Sorry, there's a big puddle here, but quite a night of rain. yeah, it absolutely flows through corners wonderfully well. And it's not to say, because it isn't a sports car, it isn't, far from it, but it's not a car that feels clumsy on the road in any way. What I'm also looking for, which is why I got this section of road, by the way, because it's got a horrible surface to it, and just listening out for any sort of clunks or rattles from underneath the car. There shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all, so absolutely spot on. Just going to give the brakes a good shove, make sure no one's directly behind me. A really good, powerful brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for is good initial bite, which it's got, but also that there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all, so it's all spot on. Worth pointing out that those things are going to be checked by MOT, because it's going to be going for an independent MOT, hopefully later today. So they will all be checked as a matter of course anyway. So coming inside the car, I mean, as with exterior, in just stunning condition in here. It really is. The leather work, everything just looks so crisp and fresh. It's hard to imagine one being in better condition anywhere. And they are also beautifully put together cars. No rattles or squeaks at all. And you get in some so-called premium cars at this age of mileage, and they can be rattle boxes. But this, just beautifully put together. And a lovely place to sit and operate a car, because you've got fantastic visibility all around. It makes you feel, really confident on the road, helped by these massive wing mirrors to let you know obviously what's going on all around you. And a dashboard that, it is very well equipped, but it doesn't, especially by modern standards, it is simple and easy to operate. I really do believe the manufacturer's taken giant leaps backwards in terms of interior design. Maybe pleasing on the eye, but not so clever to use. Sat nav working perfectly. You've got a dual zone climate control system, nice and simple to operate. Gives you different temperatures side to side if you so wish. Pumps out lovely cold air, by the way. Heated seats, again, all working exactly as they should. Every button, every switch has a wonderful quality of actuation to it, which Honda do so wonderfully well. They are the little details, but those are the details that, if a Honda put effort into those, you can imagine the effort they put into the mechanical side, which is why these are so sought after and their values are so firm and going up, and they have been for months now. Dash binnacle in front, I love, because it's just beautifully labelled. It's simple, concise, beautifully presented, and not overdone. It's just, you look at it, you get the information, you look back. That's exactly what it should be. Steering wheel, leather bound, feels absolutely new to hold as well. All functions working exactly as they should. Cruise control, hands-free, radio functions, all that kind of stuff. The one button you'll notice an absence of is a four-wheel drive button, although this is a four-wheel drive car. Honda worked out really early on that the 99% plus of its customers would be driving as I am now, in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive operating. Because the problem with permanent four-wheel drive is it is by definition permanently on. So you're going to scrub through your tyres more quickly, you're going to use more fuel, and you're going to put more mechanical stress through the vehicle. The way this works is genius. It used to be called real-time all-wheel drive, but basically, should the front wheels momentarily start to lose grip, snow, ice or mud, something like that, then it instantly engages the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and absolutely seamlessly as well, by the way. And it's incredibly effective. We have a CR-V which we tow, and this time of year it'd be quite interesting going across some very sort of muddy pitches, and we've never come close to getting stuck with it. And I have to say, in nearly 30 years of selling Honda cars using this system, we've never so much as put a spanner on any of them in terms of kind of the four-wheel drive systems. As I said at the start of the video, brief as it may be, it is literally just to show the car in operation, but to feedback on anything that might be on the car, and there's nothing. It drives absolutely perfectly, as you'd expect given the history and ownership of the vehicle. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, do give us a call.